Let's talk about one of my favorite episodes of Black Mirror. An episode so surprising and impactful that I still think about till this day. And of course, I am talking about Entire History of You. It revolves around a married couple in a loveless marriage during a night full of drinks and insecurities, which pairs extremely well with the technology of the episode called the Grain. Now, the Grain is a device that's inserted into people's heads and allows the users to store and replay past memories whenever they like. Now, the technology and the premise in this episode is pretty simple compared to other Black Mirror entries later on in the seasons, and even the episode before this called 15 Million Merits. But that's what makes this episode so interesting and compelling, is that it's so simple that it's relatable. So in the story, the couple meets up with a few friends for a night of drinks, and within the group of friends, there's an obnoxious man that had a previous fling with the wife. Both husband and wife go back and forth on the timeline of the dating, one saying that it was only a quick fling, while the other one is saying no, this was a longer thing. Enter the use of the Grain, where they go back and forth and relive each other's memories to try to one-up each other and figure out information that isn't really important. Now, after the fight, the husband binge drinks and then goes and finds the guy and forces him to delete all of the images of his wife off of his Grain, which leads him to find out that his wife cheated on him with that friend during the same time that they conceived their child. Fun stuff. See, I feel like even great episodes of the series sometimes relies too heavily on the technology, which makes sense because that's the whole premise of the series. But Entire History of You allows the Grain to move the story along rather than overtaking the story. But you see, this is what makes a perfect Black Mirror episode. Excellent writing, phenomenal acting, and the Grain doesn't feel too powerful. The Grain only is there to allow the story to go forward rather than taking the whole center stage. And it's also extremely relatable. Sure, we don't have grains in our heads, but we have devices in our pockets that allow us to relive past events. You see, there are shots in the episode where you see the couple engaged in an activity, but they're not really there. Through the eyes, you can see that they're reliving past events. And it's very similar to how we see people when we go out in dinners and see families and friends on the phone scrolling rather than interacting with each other. Plus, adding a story of jealousy and mistrust in a relationship with this technology adds a layer of tension that we can connect with. It's what Black Mirror does best, combining technology with the human experience. And that's why I think Entire History of You is the perfect Black Mirror episode.